Yeah, let me make sure everything is good. Hit the like as you come in. And y'all can follow me on Rumble too. I'm on Rumble as well, Kick. Twitch. Yeah, if you're on YouTube, you can follow me on Rumble too. Yeah, make sure everybody can know that before they come in. Yeah, I haven't been saying too much about what's going on. Haven't had too much to say about it. But I definitely have noticed. I definitely noticed. I sat back for a minute though. It ain't nothing too much different going on right now, so I'm not really surprised. It ain't nothing too much different going on right now in the boxing game. We still waiting on the same kind of action, but it is what it is. But I see everybody got the news about the Boots Ennis fight with Josh Kelly. It was just an offer from what I seen, and Josh Kelly, it doesn't look like he's going for it. He's not interested in taking that kind of offer from Jaron Ennis, whatever offer it was. I don't know, man. I'm not really interested in the fight, to be honest with you. I think Taez was a fight that was like the minimum for me. Not saying that Josh Kelly is a bad fight, but just right now, it's not something I really get up for. I don't see much of a difference between that and the standing on this fight, to be honest with you. And yeah, he got a lot of expectations right now, but like everybody asked for this, you know what I'm saying? It's time to show up. I hear a lot of people bringing up reasons and everything else. Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. If it's so much talking going on, we passed that stage, bro. We passed that stage. That's what people gotta realize. Once Terence Crawford name came up, as far as the fight, everybody on the table. Everybody on the table. Cause that sounds like a pump fake to me. I ain't gonna lie. Because once you sit up here and you call out Crawford, and I said this from the beginning, I was like, bro, you can't be calling this man out. If you ain't finna make the moves that he'll make. And I'm hearing a lot of people saying, oh, he taking the Crawford route. Bro, he ain't man, you don't get out of here with that. That's what I don't like, bro. Because it's okay to call people out, but when it's time to do what everybody else doing, or the guy who you're considered better than would do, because I seen Virgil do it. Then I seen Haney do it with Tank and T.O. He did it with T.O. Haney did it with Tank and T.O. Fought at least similar competition. But man, please. These dudes out here capping right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. I ain't trying to hear it. I ain't finna be friendly about it. It's a lot of peon stuff going on right now. But because I've been really sitting back chilling, but from what I've been hearing, man, these dudes out here sound crazy as I don't know what, man. Sound crazy. They giving everybody else a pass. I'm gonna see it right now. These are fake boxing fans. They giving everybody else a pass. But then with Terence Crawford, if he was making the same kind of moves everybody else was be making, that's why I said these people finna get exposed out here. All that talking, it ain't no reason to talk no more. The fans finna get exposed. They asked for this, they gonna take it. They asked for this. When I tell y'all they asked for this, they've been asking for this. Oh, we want this guy to have every fight. Okay, these guys that they said can't get a fight. Turkey done offered every fight to these dudes. They ain't ready. Okay, time to move on. Please quit calling out Terence Crawford. It don't matter who it is in boxing. Every dude who done called out Terence Crawford talking about they ain't ready. I think that's the corniest thing in boxing right now. For real. Cause like I said before, it make it seem like what Terence Crawford been doing, like, oh, he ain't been doing nothing. So and so can do that. Boy, you don't get out of here with that. They've been going on for years. Ever since the mandatory came up. Oh, do this, do that, do that, do this. I'm like, bro, why we even gotta do that? Why it even gotta be like that? Now it's like this. And man, please. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been saying for years, Jaron Ennis is better than Virgil Ortiz. I look wrong as hell right now because Virgil Ortiz is doing everything that Terence Crawford would be doing or that he's done, and Ennis is doing the opposite. And you got everybody else got all this energy for what's going on CCD, what's going on? You got everybody got all this energy for Terence Crawford. But when Virgil Ortiz name come up, nobody got that energy for Virgil Ortiz. Bro, I don't like that. To be honest with you. Yeah, I don't like that. It look like pump faking to me. Every time Virgil Ortiz name come up, don't nobody say nothing. It be super quiet. Ain't nobody saying nothing now. Ain't nobody saying, hey, make that Virgil Ortiz. Let's go. Man, all this pump faking going on. Hey, yeah. Terence Crawford name been getting used, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. I ain't never seen Terence Crawford do that. Terence Crawford ain't never called nobody out unless they was gonna be next. If they went next, when he called out Canelo, yeah, everybody like, oh, he need a tune-up. Nah, next. Let's go. Terence Crawford ain't never called nobody out. That's the difference between him and everybody else. Everybody. When I say everybody, I mean everybody. When he calls somebody out, they next. Ain't no we finna build it up. When Terence Crawford calls somebody out, they're next. Yeah, man. I think everybody starting to realize now that, oh, some of these dudes ain't been in a 50-50 fight yet. And I thought Crawford resume was weak, but it was still a 50-50 fight. Yeah, look crazy, man. Hey, I feel bad for some of these guys because people want to replace Terence Crawford so bad that it's like it's putting pressure on other people to show up. And I know how the game goes, so it is what it is. But hey, when it's time to show up, it's time to show up. Dudes be talking way too much. Terence Crawford ain't even got his roses yet. He ain't even got his flowers yet, and people are already trying to get him up out the door. So I'm needing everybody else to show up right now. 54 is looking very quiet, and we only have one guy who's carrying the division right now. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you. Supposed to be ahead of Virgil right now, especially when it comes to the type of fights at 54. Yeah, we're supposed to already be past that. But yeah, I'm hearing everybody talking about the Crawford and PED thing. I'll talk about that later on. You know, it is what it is on that. You know, they're gonna feel how they want to feel. But as far as what they were saying about, oh, he need to fight Ennis, Crawford ducking Ennis. Yeah, I don't remember when everybody was saying that. He need to give him an opportunity. What's up, PD? What going on, dog? They said he need to give him an opportunity. Man, come on, an opportunity, bro. I don't know why fans in boxing right now. I just seen Boo Boo Andre, and I just seen Terence Crawford, Benavidez. I can keep naming them. That's looking for an opportunity at big fights. The other guys are getting opportunity after opportunity, and I'm just supposed to sit here and be like, yeah, well, you know, bro, these dudes ain't did nothing. Ain't none of these dudes Usyk. I mean, Usyk can't even do what he want. Last time I checked, everybody said he had rematched the boy. So we got guys who ain't did nothing yet. They get more privilege than Usyk in the boxing game. Oh yeah, they finna get exposed. Not that I don't like them. It's just if they moving like that, yeah, it's over with. Yeah, shout out my dog PD, man. I'm telling you right now. What I don't like about Ennis is what's going on with him. They trying to move. They moving Virgil a little faster than him right now. It's like okay, yeah, he gonna be good at 54 or whatever. But look at the type of guys that Virgil done fought already. Like him fighting the same guy twice and carrying. I mean, okay, you could say that was a good development fight, but for 54, I don't know how much that does for. It's not a lot of guys like carrying at 54, so you know that does make a lot of sense. But nah, I'm not. If Crawford was doing that right now, he wouldn't be getting no looks for that. We just got to keep it real. We just got to keep it real. And if Boots and Virgil fight right now, uh, you know, I don't know who wins that fight. I gotta be real. Not to say I haven't really looked at it like that, but yeah, ain't no guarantees in that fight. I hear a lot of people saying that Xander Zayas is he's the weakest champion. Come on, man. Like, why is he even being looked at as the weakest champion? That's something, bro. Y'all gotta think of how people are thinking of looking at this fight. They saying, "Oh, well, Virgil is the weakest champion." Why are we talking about that right now? Is everybody looking for Boots to fight the weakest champion? Bro, I know we don't got fans of Boots Ennis that's out here saying he should fight the weakest champion, and that's Xander Zayas. If that's the mindset, I don't even want to talk about nothing else. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. And that's what I said too, man. And I like Boots. I think that he's still early in match room or whatever, but bruh, it ain't looking too good right now. I'm gonna be honest with you. Because when everybody look past the fact that Stanionis got paid all that money, when you could have looked at Brian Norman, that was a bigger fight. And then you got two guys who were just trying to fight you. Now they finna fight each other. That's what everybody ain't talking about right now. I'm gonna tell y'all right now. That's one thing everybody ain't talking about. Devin Haney and Brian Norman was just trying to fight Boots, right? And then Brian Norman and Devin Haney was trying to fight Teofimo Lopez. Okay, all this trying going on. Why it ain't get made? Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, we turning down big fights now. All them days of, oh, he can't get a fight. That's over with. I don't even know why guys are still talking like that. Bruh, dudes that turn down every fight in boxing. It don't matter what the circumstances is. If Terence Crawford sat up here and said, hey, man, I turned down Earl Spence because of, man, ain't nobody trying to figure out why. What's all this we trying to figure out stuff now? Yeah, people playing sides, bro. That's what's going on, bro. People playing sides. And I'm only disappointed because I was hearing all this Terence Crawford backlash because we were playing sides the whole time. Oh, okay. Y'all finna set these dudes up, man. Now everybody at 54 calling for a fight with Boots. Now y'all can't say nobody at 54 is ducking Boots. Y'all can't say Bakaram ducking them. You can't say Fundora. Nobody. They ran with the Terence Crawford thing for a long time, but it's over with. I knew that wasn't gonna work. I knew what that was, but come on, man. How long you gonna do that when Devin Haney already fighting Brian Norman now? He coming up for one. Man, I would have told Eddie pay him that extra money, man. The same thing, the same way Brian Norman got paid now is the same way he could have got paid fighting Boots. I said it already. The same way he getting paid now is the same way he could have got paid fighting Boots. Everybody, oh man, Brian Norman, he ain't worth that money, man. He asked for that much. He is worth that much. Turn the tape on. What? Y'all hyping up Xander Zayas when uh Brian Norman doing the same thing Xander Zayas doing. I mean, check the stats. What's going on out here? What's going on? PD said Boots don't deserve it. Champion he need to earn it. Yeah, you gotta earn it at 54, dog. And the thing I don't understand about 54 is, and I like Boots, bro. Everybody know that. But the thing I don't understand is why are you? How do I say this? If you got the super champion status or whatever, Why are you not using that to get an intern belt or something? Why are you trying to fight an eliminator? Everybody, like, he trying to fight an eliminator for what? Well, he can get an intern belt. Man, just go ahead and get the belt, man. Get the belt and move on. He could have fought the tight ass guy and moved on. Everybody thought that fight. Then you talking about Josh Kelly. Josh Kelly talking about there ain't enough money. Man, that's a guaranteed fight they could have took. And then I'm hearing people talking about some Tyez took a voluntary because the mandatory would have been boost. Duh. What are you talking about? Man, these dudes. That's why I don't be looking at rankings and stuff like that, bro. I peep at it for a little bit, see what's going on. All right. He said he should be calling out Charlo and Mendoza. Yeah, Charlo fight would have been good. Cause I think Charlo still what? Champion of recess? So he could have made something happen, but I don't know. They was talking about Charlo and Keith Thurman recently. You know, PBC still trying to make something work over there. But I don't hear nothing about people not trying to fight Boost, but he's fighting through Turkey right now. Turkey getting him all kind of fights. I mean, the Virgil fight is really a fight I've been waiting on. I wasn't tripping like that as far as because I was expecting a tune-up. I know everybody else wasn't, but I definitely was. Especially after he said, "Oh, Crawford, he should get a tune-up versus Canelo." I was like, "Oh yeah," because Crawford he don't do tune-ups like that. I know everybody seen him fight Avanesian, and they consider that a tune-up or whatever. But yeah, last time I checked, he don't be doing those. Especially going to that Canelo fight. That got to be the reputation now. But Mendoza would have been a good fight. Yeah, Mendoza would have been. I was cool with Mendoza too. But none of these names getting talked about. Uh, I didn't hear Boychuk come up, but none of these names. Josh Kelly, bro. I think Josh Kelly cool, but man, once you talking about fighting Terence Crawford, or whatever, yeah, and you've been more active now than you was when you was talking about fighting him. Come on now, what's going on? The man is more active now than he was when he was talking about fighting Crawford. Nah, we can't be doing that. That can't work, man. And I don't know who the responsibility lay on. I ain't here to point no fingers. I'm just dissecting everything. You know what I'm saying? It's still a business, so I understand that, but I'm just pointing everything out. I just don't like how it looks because I know how boxing is. It's gonna be today. It's a Brian Norman Jr. Tomorrow, it's gonna be somebody else that's popping up at 54 or 47. It's gonna be more guys popping up in boxing. Like while everybody else is like, oh, let me get a tune up and let me do this. See, Brian Norman Jr. wasn't even on the map for a lot of people last year around this time. So imagine next year it's gonna be somebody else. Man, the way Turkey moving right now, okay. See, what people don't realize is we figuring out a lot of names through Turkey. Turkey putting a lot of new names out there. Like when people were saying about Shiraz recently, oh, that's Turkey fighter. Technically, it's not. If you know, you know. So, but that's the way it was, perceived. So, but that's how a lot of people are learning a lot of these fighters. So, okay, if you don't step up, somebody else will. You know what I'm saying? If you don't move up, somebody else will. It is what it is right now. You gotta eat what you kill, man. All this other stuff going on. Yeah. Boxing is completely changing right now. No narrative. Turkey killing all narratives. See, the only thing they talking about right now is Terence Crawford on PEDs or something, whatever. The comic book stuff. But the stuff that's really going on, they don't want to talk about it because a lot of people said, "Oh, Jaron Ennis, he's ready for Terence Crawford." Which, on a good day, I don't know. Maybe he is, but right now, as far as the way he's moving, nah, it ain't what everybody talking about. That's kind of what I'm saying. It's like people been saying, "Oh, Crawford been ducking and everything else." That hurt his reputation. He might not get views. He might not get a lot of views on his Canelo fight just because people think that he ducked Jaron Ennis. Now with the way Ennis moving, and I like both fighters, was he ever ducking this man? Oh my god, I can't believe they said he was ducking him. He need to fight Charlo, like PD said though. Charlo would be a good fight for him. He beat Charlo, that will silence everybody immediately. And some people might think that's a harder fight than Virgil, so I don't know. Fight Virgil then. You got that on the table. But it's too many names at this point. At a certain point, man, it's too many names. At first, I'm like, all right, T.O., Haney. I mean, they coming up from what, 40? One fight at 47? I don't know. Really don't make sense, to be honest with you. But if he would have fought Norman, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, you right there to fight Barrios. Then they talking about Barrios fighting Connor Benn. Come on, man. Connor Benn. Now look, now listen to this. If Norman would have already been a fight that Boots had already, or been set up, they could have had Norman, not Norman, but Boots versus Barrios or Ben or whoever. But he finna fight Connor Ben though. Barrios is. They're talking about it. I can't really say they're about to fight. It's not really true. They're just talking about it. But I'm not surprised that's being talked about because that's something I discussed. But Connor Ben, man, this man's talking about fighting Connor Ben. And I think Connor Ben is at 47. There ain't a lot of names at 47. I think you can say he's a leader at 47. There ain't a lot of names at 47. But I don't know, man. Two more fights probably could have made it happen as far as undisputed at 47. Yeah, two more fights. They're saying a lot of people wanted money and stuff like that to fight Boots. I understand that though. A lot of guys do be wanting a lot of money to fight Boots. I will say that. More than anybody else, I would say. When it comes to fighting Boots, for some reason, I gotta keep it a buck. People ask for a lot of money to fight him. I don't know how much these guys be making to fight Virgil. I'm gonna look it up real quick. But when it comes to fighting Boots, they ask for a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money getting thrown around. So yeah, that's part of the problem as far as the fights being made. So I can't really just say certain things. But yeah, a lot of people ain't making that much money to fight Virgil. Of course, a couple of these guys making career paydays, but still, They ain't getting paid like that. Um, yeah, Mocho, he made what 350K against Virgil, so he ain't made that much money. Yeah, a lot of these guys be trying to get paid against Boots, but I can understand in Norman's case, he's a champion. I can understand that, but I don't know. We talking about guys who ain't champions now. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know about that. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. They talking about low ball offers from I'm hearing it was an offer from Eddie Hearn's lawyer or whatever. They were given 24 hours. I don't know. He was more so focused on the time length more than anything. So seemed like it was enough money to think about. Because at first he was saying, "Yeah, man, it was a low ball offer." Then he's talking about Josh Kelly. I'm talking about. He's saying potentially that the time length of being 24 hours to decide was too short. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe he's talking about the money being accurate, or maybe he wanted to try to throw another offer out there, but didn't happen. Or it seems like it's not going to happen as far as right now. He talking about fighting Baccarat though. He said he ain't turned down a fight with Baccarat. He don't know who Turkey talking about. Yeah, Josh Kelly said that. Yeah, I was saying that because I didn't think he turned down a fight with Baccarat. I didn't think that's why the fight wasn't happening. Yeah, that's definitely not why I think the fight's not happening. And from what I've seen, Baccarat be going back and forth with a couple of guys, so might have a new opponent out there. Sometimes Turkey like to hide in the bushes and see who going back and forth. Put an offer out there and see if it's real. Because even Virgil Ortiz, they saying coming off a hand injury. I don't know if he would. I guess he is gonna fight Boots next. They said, as far as I seen earlier this year, um, Baccarat's manager Kathy Duval used to work with Kovalev. She said she wanted to make a Virgil Ortiz and Baccarat fight. And Oscar De La Hoya said he didn't want to have Virgil have 3 fights in a row, 3 tough fights in a row. So whoever he fight next anyway is gonna be like a mid level or a tune up if he coming off a hand injury. So a lot of the people talking about they could have fought next, him or Boots. I don't think that would have happened. It's probably talked about, but I ain't really seeing it happening too much. Now these other fights that's going on, that's a different thing. Boots should have an intern belt right now. If you got the super champion status, you go ahead and use it. What you gonna have that for, and then just try to fight for eliminator? Nah, ain't no reason to do that. Yeah, that don't make any sense. Because a lot of guys are dropping belts at 54 already. We already had Fandora drop a belt, so he could have fought Xander Zayas. That didn't happen. So yeah, if I'm Boots, I would have got an intern belt just in case anything crazy happened. But everybody talking about he fighting for an eliminator. Nah, man. For what? And then what you gonna do? Yeah, so that would have went left, man. But a fight between him and Xander Zayas, I'm cool with that right now. They saying that's a fight that can get made. I'm cool with that, but that's not gonna happen till what, next year? If Boots fights Xander Zayas, that'll be next year. I hear a lot of people talking about that, but that's something you gotta set up. Like it could be next. To be honest with you, could be next right now. I don't know why a lot of people not looking at it like that, but they stuck in tune-up mode. I mean, as far as I know, they saying Xander Zayas is the weakest champion, so they treat him like he a tune-up. So if I was Boots Ennis, I would be fighting him next. There wouldn't even be no question about it. I'll put the pressure on him. Because Xander Zayas has came out and said nobody wants to fight me. Everybody's running. It's time for me to fight everybody. So that's a good time to come out if you Boost and be like, yeah, let's go ahead and make that fight. Boost don't got nothing lined up. Matter of fact, if I was him, I would have been at Xander Zayas fight this weekend just to be in the crowd. Trust me, they would have seen him. Even if ESPN would have tried to avoid him, they would have seen him. Somebody would have seen him. Just little stuff like that. He could have had, man, trust me. They would have had negotiations going right now. Yeah, people know Xander Zayas was going to get that belt. Could have already been talking about that. Yeah, nobody want to fight Fedor right now. After that Tim Tszyu fight, yeah, I don't know. Everybody thought Fedor was going to go out there and box with Tim Tszyu. They should have got Fedor before he got that belt, bro. I think it's over with right now. If it ain't Terence, Crawford, or somebody like that, it's going to be hard to get Fedor up out of there, bro. Be real with you. They should have got him before he got the belt. I don't know what it is about that dude getting the belt. I usually don't say that. If anybody knows me, I don't say stuff like this. But for some reason, ever since Fedor got that belt, what's up, Joseph Baylor? What's going on, dog? Shout out my dog, Joseph Baylor. Yeah, nobody want to touch Fedor right now, bro. I think Fedor is more dangerous than Baccaram. The only reason I say that is because Fedor is still getting better. I think Baccaram, he's about where he gonna be. But Fedor, yeah, man. I told y'all, man, dude's crazy. I heard a story about him eating a cheese pizza before weigh-ins against Tim Tszyu. That mean he could have been fighting at 47, bro. That mean he's kind of like a 147 fighting at 54. So I'm like, oh, this dude is killing. Yeah, Joseph Miller said Boots is local. Right now he is, real talk. No disrespect, but right now he is. Right now he is. I'm telling you. Everything people were saying about Brian Norman Jr., bruh, I'm telling you, everything they were saying about Brian Norman Jr., they gonna have to say about Boots. See what I this is the funny part about the Brian Norman Jr. Booth situation. Because now when Brian Norman Jr. dad was like, hey, we trying to get certain fights at 54, at 47, explain the business side. Everybody like, oh no, nah, man, we ain't trying to hear it. Now you hear everybody out here talking about some, yeah, what Boots. He just got a new deal with Eddie Hearn, and oh now y'all trying to explain business. Oh now you understand. Oh okay, they biased, bro. Now they understand. Okay, because it's Boots. Now you understand. Okay. Yeah, I don't like that, bro. For real. Be a boxing fan, bro. James Tony ain't go through all them rounds just so y'all can come out here and just talk like that. Yeah, I said that, Joseph. People think that he's. I don't know. I feel like some people feel like he's too good to fight Earl Spence. They don't understand how good Earl Spence is. They feel like because Earl Spence got stopped by Crawford that he's trash all of a sudden. Yeah, I said that'd be a good fight. A lot of people like that fight, but some people feel like he's too good to fight Earl Spence. Pretty crazy. He said, "What made you talk about food?" No, I seen that he was having talks about the Josh Kelly situation, and then I'm just thinking about the whole Brian Norman situation. And this time last year, I had people coming to me, "Hey man, you think Brian Norman ducking or, bruh? Come on, man. Like where? I'm just trying to figure out where all these people at because man, wow, all this. I'm gonna tell y'all what really pissed me off about all this stuff for real. While all this stuff was going on about people, we trying to figure out if Crawford is too small for Canelo. While all this stuff going on, you got people in the background talking about, yeah, Crawford ducking boots. He need to give him a chance, and he ducking boots and all the other stuff, bruh. This the only reason I'm even showing this attention right now is because all that stuff is cap, bro. And y'all that was annoying, bro. To be honest with you, it's annoying trying to talk to a whole bunch of Mexican fans. Half of them can't speak English, and you got dudes in the background like, yeah, Boots need a chance. Like, come on, man. Like, bro, for real. Like it's still annoying. I haven't heard in a long time, but it's annoying, bro. Like, come on, man. You got all this stuff going on. You got all these Mexicans going at Crawford about this Canelo stuff before the fight even got made. And you just got all this stuff, other stuff going on. It's just, bro, it's annoying after a while. And I told people, y'all putting pressure on Boots, and he gonna have to stand up to a standard that you putting on him. He ain't out here every day calling people out on podcasts and all that other stuff. There's other people doing that, and now he got an answer for it. Everybody been saying he better than Crawford. Well, do what Terence Crawford would do. Terence Crawford would not fight no Josh Kelly right now. So anybody sitting up here talking about that's the Terence Crawford route, you failed, bro. As a Boots Ennis fan, you have failed right now. I'm a Jaron Ennis fan. This is no good, no bueno, no Josh Kelly. Once everybody started comparing you to Terence Crawford, you could have said, not right now. I'm trying to get there." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You gonna believe that, but you know what I'm saying? Like, let's be real. When Canelo name come up, dudes start laying out the red carpet. I ain't got time to be hearing none of that. When Canelo name come up, everybody start acting like they seeing the Sultan or something off Aladdin or something. These boys start laying out the red carpet. They acting like they talking to Turkey Al Sheik or something. all the time. I'm like, oh, okay. Canelo name come up, respect get laid down. They don't care how many times he got hit upside the head by Dimitri Bivol. When his name come up, respect get laid down. These boxers be like, oh no, that's Canelo though. That's Canelo. The same Canelo that had like the worst performance against Floyd ever. You laying out the carpet for him? Yeah. Okay, that what's up. But yeah, Terence Crawford can't get no respect though, and that's the only reason people want to see Canelo get slept by dude because of stuff like that. And that's why people want to put pressure on Jaron Ennis. You're gonna see a lot of people say that people are haters of Jaron Ennis. They're not haters. They're just saying the expectations that everybody been trying to drive down people's throat for the past 3 years. They're gonna want to see results, bro. They're gonna want to see results. That's it. That's all I'm saying. They want to see results. I mean, you got other fighters out here going 12 rounds with Tank Davis, getting draws, and they still getting doubted. And other guys, they could just show up and get compared to Terence Crawford. No, that ain't how boxing gonna go. So a lot of that calling out stuff, bro, it's starting to go away in boxing, bro. It is. It's cool. That era was cool and everything else, but it's starting to go away though. That era is going away. I don't know if everybody know it, but it's only like 2 or 3 people calling people out. Like if you don't make the fight that day, like boxing different now. Like if you don't make the fight that day, you call somebody out, and you got the power to do it. Uh, you're gonna be looked at as a sucker and your fan base. Just being real. You got a lot of fan bases that's supporting a lot of guys who don't got a backbone. And they gotta like secretly support these guys. It's pathetic, bro. I'm being real with y'all. I'm giving y'all some real lessons outside the ring. It's pathetic what some of these fans gotta do right now. They've been pushing narratives for years. Now they gotta secretly support boxers because they've been taking a lot of L's. Y'all remember last year when Haney and Wilder was taking L's on Riyadh season? And everybody was like, oh, these Americans is taking L's. It's very quiet right now. Very quiet. All the ducking and stuff like that, that's quiet. Ain't no more narratives in boxing. No more. The last narrative they're gonna have in boxing is the Terence Crawford taking PEDs thing. I think they're gonna milk that for a couple of weeks. But after that, there ain't nothing else to talk about. You can't say Haney ducking nobody. You can't say Brian Norman ducking nobody. They wore that out for the last 12 months. I know Turkey got tired of hearing that. Turkey was like, let me hurry up and make this fight first. So I ain't got to see this on Twitter no more. That's probably why Turkey made that fight first. He like, please let me get this off of Twitter. So yeah, it ain't really no narrative to really push. Like, show up. You know what I'm saying? All that trying to build something up and everything else, them days over with. Show up. It's time to show up, dog. If you ain't showing up right now, you're gonna be looked at as a lame. Period. It's a new era of boxing. From 2025 to 2020 to 2030, the next what? I don't know how many years, because you know they still count 25. From then to 30, you better show up. If not, you're gonna be looked at as a lame. I'm telling you that right now. I'm telling you that right now. What a lot of boxers don't realize is it hasn't been a lot of guys that was openly just calling people out and everything else. I mean, Adrian Broner kind of like pioneered the whole, personality online, social media thing, but he still had to fight though. That's what people don't realize. They say everything they want about his career, but if you look at the names, he still got in the ring though. These other dudes talking about tune-ups, but these dudes ain't finna make it, bro. I'm telling you that right now. If y'all think Adrian Broner had a bad career, bro, you can compare Adrian Broner's career to a lot of these dudes right now Whether they 27, 28, 29, 30, bro, they already behind, bro. If you're behind Adrian Bronner, if you want to compare your career to Adrian Bronner, you're already behind. That's a bad sign. If you're trying to be great, forget trying to compare yourself to Terence Crawford, bro. You got a long way to go. And I ain't talking about Ennis. I'm talking about everybody. They got a long way to go. You see what Fundora just did with Tim Zoo, and people know I like Tim Zoo at 54. I'm still riding with Tim Zoo, but guess what? I wasn't finna pick him against Fundora the first time or the second time because bruh said he do not watch film. He was like, nah, I ain't even watched the fight like that against Fundora. You didn't watch the first fight like that? Nah. Oh, okay. You finna lose then. Oh, you finna lose. Obviously, you don't know who you fighting. You think because he's skinny and you about to lose then. Now, if that was any other fighter who said something like that, it'll be all over the place. Terence Crawford, oh man, Terence Crawford said he ain't gonna watch the rematch to Canelo after he lost or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So, but he said that and got away with it. Yeah, that's why I said Ennis should have went ahead and just got him first. Ennis would be right in the spot that Fundora is in right now. He could have had the chance to fight Tim Zoo. Now it's gonna be hard. Like I said, it's gonna be hard for anybody to beat Fundora. The only person I can see beating Fundora is possibly I don't know. Cause it ain't too many dudes. Like you gotta knock Fundora out to really beat him. It ain't too many dudes cracking like that. I don't know if Lubin will get him in a second fight. Bakaram, I give him a chance, but like I said, Fundora getting better though. So anybody at 54, it's gonna be a hard. I would give Charlo a chance though. If we want to be real though, I give Charlo a chance. You said Bam gonna be a exceptional career. Yeah, Bam gonna be the truth. And Bam said after his last fight, because people said, "Oh, that was an easy fight." Bruh, Bam said that was the hardest fight of his career. That's why I was looking at the referee them crazy when they stopped the fight early. I mean, he was gonna finish old boy off anyways, but yeah, old boy was done. But that was the hardest fight of his career though, and he picked the dude out himself. He could have just went past the dude, and nobody would have knew who he was. But yeah, Bam Rodriguez is the truth though. I told y'all earlier this year. I said if he keep doing what he's doing, he's gonna end up passing anyway. And the last opponent he just fought is tougher than the guy that anyway just fought. Matter of fact, the guy he just fought is tougher than any fighter that anyway fought this year. I think Bam, what, 25? He might be 24 still. Probably 25, something like that. I think he's 24 still. But yeah, he dominating right now. That's who Eddie Reynoso gonna wish he had in a minute. But yeah, he's dominating. Yeah, as far as at the lower weight classes though, Bam Rodriguez, he gonna end up passing anyway. I think anyway let him catch up the last 12 months. I didn't see that coming because I wasn't really paying attention to it. But then I'm like, oh, okay. Then Bam Rodriguez fought Kafu, and we seen what kind of fight that was. But he said that was the toughest fight of his career though. So yeah, that says a lot when you handpick the toughest fight of your career. So yeah, he's on point right now. If Benavidez and Virgil Ortiz win around right now, he would definitely be the best Mexican fighter. I think Espinoza up there, but I don't know if he better than Bam. I don't know. It's kind of close as far as with Espinoza. I don't know. Espinoza a beast. Me personally, I like Espinoza though. You said Zaya's the easiest route. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. The way Boots match up, it seems like Boots. The way Boots is, I think he'll have more of a problem with like a boxer problem. He probably have more of a struggle with a boxer than a guy who's a brawler or a fighter. It depends. The way Boots match up, it's gonna be different than anybody else because we've seen guys have an easy fight with, or not an easy fight. I'll say we've seen guys do a decent job against certain people, then struggle against like Boychuk, like Brian Mendoza. He got the brakes beat off of him against Boychuk. Then Virgil Ortiz, he went back and forth with Boychuk. Then Brandon Adams ended up dropping him. So I don't know. It depends. Xander Zayas could be his toughest fight. I don't see Boots actually going in there with a boxer like Xander Zayas and just running all over him because I don't know. I feel like Xander Zayas is a little smarter than everybody else is. I think he's a little bit smarter because what Xander Zayas is doing now, that's what Fundora learned how to do against Tim Tszyu last year. So that's why I would give Xander Zayas the edge as far as because he'll know how to survive against somebody like Boots. The rest of these dudes, they'll crash out. And who knows? If Boots got more punching power, he's not gonna really worry like that. But if you got a guy who's slick, like you know how Karen was moving against Boots, we seen how Zayas was doing that last fight. So I think Boots will have more of a problem like that against a guy like Zayas. Though it's not a lot of guys at 54 are moving around like that, anyways. But when they say he's the weakest, I understand what they're saying because he's the youngest, least experienced. But I don't know if when you see him fight, he don't really do nothing stupid though. You might win, but it'll be hard to knock him out. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, but I don't think Xander Zaya just easy like that. I think he got a very high IQ though. It took me a while to see it because he looks basic, but he's not basic. He's basically what everybody else said. Haney should have did against Ryan Garcia when they was like Haney should have just went in there and boxed instead of just trying to go for the knockout or Xander Zaya is doing that, but he's not getting backlash for it though. He's comfortable doing it because nobody really talking trash about him going in there boxing and moving. Now, if he had pressure on him, which is going to happen sooner or later because people are going to start paying for the entertainment and they're going to want to see him go in there and let his hands go and step to somebody. He can do both styles, but I'm just saying. If he does what he did in the last fight 2 or 3 more times, it's not going to be must see TV for a lot of people. I'll just say that. But depending on the matchup, though, I think he'll be all right. If he could do that against other guys with big names like an Ennis or Baccaram, yeah, he good. But I'm hearing people try to give him a back door out. They talking about he's too big. He need to move up to 160. How is Xander Zayas too big for one? What's up? What's going on, Wild Man? They talking about he's too big. He need to go to 160. How is he too big for 160? I mean for 140, 154. My bad, 154. Yeah, I don't understand that. But yeah, that's the only thing that's stopping a lot of guys from actually getting a fight with Jaron Ennis though. It's the money though. They asking for a lot of cash to fight him, bro. He ain't got no belt right now. I know he was just a champion at 47, but I don't know, man. I can understand the other guys asking for money though. They're champions. I think if that precedent would have been set last year, it wouldn't be a question right now. But yeah, guys are trying to get a lot of money for and it seems like if a guy made a lot of money with Turkey, he's not trying to take a small offer on a big card. And Eddie Hearn said something about that recently, but I don't know, it kind of backfired on him. He was saying that Turkey, not Turkey, but you know the whole Dana White situation with the Ali Act. He was talking about you're not gonna be able to get fighters to do what you want them to do. I mean, you might not, but you can't get guys to do what you want them to do either right now with these offers. If the money is there, man, a lot of these guys are gonna fight. They say a lot of different things, but if the money there, they're gonna fight. Yeah, we already know that. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of changes being made though. They're gonna iron a lot of things out right now because we got Bam, uh, Benavidez, and Haney all on one card. It could be a lot more names, but guys ain't taking the fights. But Turkey gonna turn the pressure on a lot of these guys next year. The pressure gonna be on a lot of people next year, man. I'm telling you. He already got the little tournament he's doing right now. I don't know if these guys know it or not, but this tournament he has is for a reason. I don't think he's doing it for no reason. I think he will continue to do it to find new boxers and prospects in the boxing game. And it's an excellent idea. A lot of these moves he's making is a lot more calculated than people think. You got to think about it. He's already signing the top prospects. A lot of people just found out who Abdullah Mason is. And Turkey already got him on as an ambassador for Ring. Brian Norman is fresh off of a knockout, and Turkey already has him in another fight. It's a different time now. Everything is starting to, change is gonna be good. Everything is starting to happen now. We're just gonna react to everything from now on. It ain't nothing to document. I think a lot of people feel like we're still building up fights. Not really. Not really. If we're talking about fights down the line, I'm gonna be honest with you. At this point right now, those fights might not ever happen. If it's a fight that's not happening right now, it might not ever happen. Too many fights we having right now are close, 50-50. Anybody could lose. They've already tried to set up a ton of fights where guys have said they're fighting so and so next. They end up losing. So yeah, it's gonna be off just reaction from now on, which is good. We can find out who's really good and who's not. Yeah, we can really find out. Because I think last year, the boxing game, they put a lot of pressure on, especially, for example, a guy like Devin Haney. They put a lot of pressure on him last year to make a big fight after the Ryan Garcia fight. Then they wanted Norman to have a big fight after the Boost fight fell through. And they said he's not trying to fight nobody. Now those guys are fighting each other. And everybody else is on the outside with no big fight. What are they going to do? Everybody said these other guys was going to show up and have a big fight. You can't say nobody's ducking now. Can't say nobody's ducking. That's what I love about what's going on right now. All those narratives, man, they take away so much time. Something that could be answered in 5 minutes was taking 5 years to get an answer for. It's a waste of time. Watch, we're gonna have so much boxing history over the next 12 months. It's gonna be all organic. Nothing made up. You don't have to say somebody's running or whatever. Yeah, all that stuff's going away. That's why I said a lot of guys who was bringing up Terence Crawford's name, it's pressure on these guys now. You can look up every fighter who's called out Terence Crawford. Most of these guys do not have a fight right now. And it's a lot of pressure on them to deliver because they said they on Terence Crawford level. Now, when they said it, they felt like, okay, nobody knows who Terence Crawford is, so nobody's gonna care. But that was before they realized that Terence Crawford was gonna end up fighting Canelo Alvarez. Now, as each day goes by, Terence Crawford names gets bigger and bigger, and people start to realize you compared yourself to Terence Crawford, and a lot of these guys are like, yeah, oh no, nah, you're not on Terence Crawford's level. Terence Crawford's about to fight Canelo, and the fans are saying to themselves, you would never fight Canelo. Why are you saying you would beat Crawford, but you would never fight Canelo? That doesn't make any sense. Yeah, so a lot of these guys are praying to God that Terence Crawford doesn't beat Canelo. I'm telling you that right now. If Terence Crawford beats Canelo, that is gonna ruin careers off the bat, bro. I'm letting you know that right now. The standard gonna be so high, it's gonna be over. So many people want him to lose so bad. That's why they talking about this whole PED thing. I'm gonna talk about it later on too. I'm gonna talk about it later on. It's a funny situation. And everybody subscribe to Native Wild Man. Put your link in the chat, dog. Put your channel in the chat. But yeah, we're gonna talk about that later on. I'm hearing people talking about Crawford is on PEDs and stuff. That's how you know dudes ain't watched Terence Crawford. This dude ain't fought in 12 months. And dudes talking about he on PDs. This how you know dudes. These dudes don't watch boxing, man. Let's just keep it 1,000. These guys watch one fighter. They watch highlights, and that's it. Terence Crawford almost 40 years old, and you talking about he on PEDs? Come on, man. Let's grow up. Let's be real. And you know what? This is another example of how Terence Crawford and Canelo will get more backlash about PEDs than a little old fighter like Ryan Garcia. Now they'll throw Terence Crawford and Canelo under the bus, or they'll bring up something else, something that's either real or fake, but somebody who guaranteed they don't throw him under the bus. I'll never understand that. Yeah, I'll never understand that one. You eat Mexican food? Oh, that's what's up. Y'all need to give me some. I actually gotta make some. I think I'll make some tomorrow. But yeah, man, it's insane what's going on out here. But you know, they trying to come up with a few things that really get noticed. There ain't really a lot of news going on out here. There's a lot of stuff going on, but there ain't a lot of news going on. Yeah, it's not a lot going on right now. Because from what I've seen, they giving out passes. Oh, who the two people are? What two people is that? Man, you know who it was one guy who passed away not too long ago. I had already thought he passed away. Bob Barker. That was like 2023 though. I thought Bob Barker was still alive. I mean, passed away already. I probably watched Happy Gilmore too much. I'm like, dang, I thought bro was dead already. Oh yeah, 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 I know. Yeah, them boys checked out last week. Yeah, it got wild last week, didn't it? Yeah, it got wild, man. Yeah, that started a storm online. But man, yeah, that started a storm online with the Hulkster. You know, everybody's still mad at Hulk Hogan. Bro, they is not rocking with Hulk Hogan right now. I already knew that was gonna happen. Everybody surprised. Yeah, ain't no Bob had passed away, man. I thought he was already gone. He passed away 2023, August. I think that was right before Canelo fought Charlo. He had passed away. Yeah, they got him and Jerry Springer. What, Jerry Springer? I think he's gone too. Yeah, he was recent. I think Jerry Springer was more recent than that. But yeah, man, they got some crazy fights they lining up right now. I'm hearing talks of a Pacquiao and Rolly. That was only for like a split second. I don't know how serious that is. I think that could happen if nobody got any options, but they already talking about a rematch with Ryan and Rolly. Now Rolly got an opportunity to fight Ryan. I mean Pacquiao. And he fights Ryan again in a rematch. That would be stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. Man, a lot of people think, hey, what's going on Google account? Man, a lot of people think Boost is better than Bud, man. Which ain't a bad thing, you know what I'm saying? He possibly could be. But um it's just that I don't know. That's kind of like pushed a little harder than I would say that is pushed harder than Benavidez being better than Canelo. That's the only thing. That's the only reason I'm bothered by it because I'm like, bro, I understand, but come on now, bro. That's why the expectations is the way it is, and I only got this up there. The only reason I'm saying that right now in the title is because that's how everybody feel. To be honest with you, or they felt that way for a while. They felt like that for a while, so it's like, okay, let them prove it. Yeah, yeah. I thought, yeah, I knew he was going. I knew his legs was gonna be terrible, but he saved them legs though. Yeah, he definitely was clean that last fight. He was definitely a clean fighter that last fight. We can definitely guarantee that. Yeah, Pacquiao, he looked better than I thought he would. He gassed out early the last fight. Yeah, he gassed out early the last fight, man. I thought he did a good job though. A lot of times, Barrios, the game is to not get hit, you know what I'm saying, and hit and not get hit. But Barrios, a lot of times, he didn't want to go back and forth with Pacquiao, man. Like majority of the exchanges, I didn't go back and really look at most of them, but it's a lot of times where I'm telling you, this would have been like 3 years ago, it would have been different. But yeah, Barrios was still working Pacquiao to the point where Pacquiao couldn't do much. But yeah, it's just right now, I feel like with Terence Crawford, Boost calling Terence Crawford out. He's like really the last guy to call Terence Crawford out. Even though Virgil Ortiz was doing the same thing, it wasn't a lot of pressure. Virgil wasn't a mandatory and everything else, so it wasn't a lot of attention like how Boost got. But now it seems like Terence Crawford left a lot of attention on 154, and somebody has to take the responsibility of that weight class. It seems like they're putting all the responsibility on Ennis because we do have a lot of guys at 54 already. But a lot of guys aren't getting compared to Terence Crawford. So that's where a lot of stuff is kind of getting weird at. And I'm like, bro, it's time to show up now. Like Josh Kelly is a cool fight, but it's time to show up, man. For real. After how everybody was doing last year with Norman and everything else, it's time to show up, man. I'm gonna keep it real. It's time for the fans, everybody to stand up, especially against what's going on right now. Everybody laying down for this Josh Kelly fight is cowardly. They would never let Terence Crawford fight Josh Kelly, ever. Don't let any of these people try to convince y'all that that would happen. They would never. They wouldn't let a Deontay Wilder fight a Josh Kelly. They would never let a Haney fight a Josh Kelly. These people are running serious game right now. I don't remember the last time a Earl Spence had a chance to fight a Josh Kelly on his resume. They running game right now, man. They're running serious game. I think Terence Crawford gonna show a lot of people soon that it's gonna be hard to surpass what he's gonna do. Like guys have a chance right now, but it's gonna be hard to surpass it. Yeah, it's crazy. I got some more topics I'm gonna talk about later on too, man. I'm just out here warming up for real. I'm gonna come back on later on. I know I used to say that, but you'll see. Because I come up with plenty of topics, but I don't get a chance to really go through them. But yeah, I'm seeing a different kind of standards right now, bruh. Super biased right now, man. I'm being honest with y'all. The way they handling these fighters, it ain't the same. It's not the same. I don't know if they're trying to hide the fact that this could end bad, or they just don't want to bring attention to it. Because what people are going to say is eventually, hey man, Terence Crawford ain't had this many guys lined up when he was in his position. Yeah, but they could have lined these guys up 4 or 5 years ago for him to fight. They could have lined him up with 2 or 3 of these fights every year, and he would have fought these guys for the same amount of money they paid Canelo. Could just split it up from 2 fights to 3 fights or whatever. If you're gonna do it that way, would have fought every big name. And I'm hearing people running around talk about now, bro. These guys got to come up with some new narratives in boxing. It's starting to get old. I'm hearing people running around now talking about some Terence Crawford fighting Canelo for a payday. Bro, Canelo finna make like $100 million to fight Crawford. I don't want to be disrespectful or anything like that. Canelo ain't worth $100 million in one fight. I don't know if anybody know that. I'm saying that, and I'm man enough to say it. Canelo's not worth $100 million for one fight. No, it's not worth it. No, definitely not worth it. They're gonna say he is though, and that's part of the problem, man. There's too much capping going on. People want to show respect to guys, but that's gonna be something else I'll talk about later on. But there's too much respect being made to guys who ain't earned it yet. We talking about guys like they career over. That's one thing I don't like, man. I'm not mad about it. It's just it's gonna all play out eventually. Like right now, who is Ennis gonna fight if he don't fight Josh Kelly? Nobody knows. Is he getting the same backlash as Terence Crawford? Absolutely not. Is everybody saying he's on Terence Crawford level? Absolutely. I've been watching boxing a long time. What's gonna happen very soon is, and I'm gonna say this, and then I'm just move on from the topic. But what's gonna happen very soon is it's gonna be a lot of boxers that are gonna get a lot of attention that usually most boxers wouldn't get in any era of boxing. Right now, in this era of boxing, this will be the most exposure that the top 30, top 40, top 50 boxers in each division will ever get. You understand what I'm saying? So most of these guys don't understand that you got to show up, man. Especially when you comparing yourself. It's only a few of y'all comparing yourselves to Crawford or whoever. If that don't work out, it's gonna go bad. If Crawford was out here saying, "I'm man Floyd ducking, I'm the next Floyd," well, I'm on Floyd level. If everybody was sitting up here saying Crawford was on Floyd level, we will expect him to be doing Floyd things. But nobody's saying that. Right now, people are starting to say stuff like that. Right now, people are saying it, but they haven't been saying it. That's why I said the expectations are very high, very very high. And once these guys don't show up, I already know what's gonna happen. They're gonna get left behind, be fighting on pro box, and fans they're gonna bring their name up until the fight start. I know what time it is, and it's dangerous right now. No other era was doing stuff like this. Canelo already know what's going on. that's got, that's why Canelo was like, "Yep, bro, the writing's on the wall right now." I don't know why nobody understands what's going on. Look, everybody that's in boxing from Lomachenko, Josh Taylor, I don't know what Tyson Fury is doing right now, which makes a lot of sense. They talking Anthony Joshua talking about hanging it up. He about to retire. Tank Davis, bro, all these guys, people be talking about somebody ducking, is about to hang it up. You know what I'm saying? They are about to hang it up. Everybody who people say is somebody ducking, they're about to hang it up. They either talking about retirement or they're about to retire. So the competition, so Hunger Games is already started. I'm telling you, everybody who's an elite fighter, pound for pound, best in the country, top 5 in the country, Olympians, gold medalists. A lot of those guys are hanging it up right now. It's getting too tough, man. Turkey is not playing. And a lot of people said, nah, they're going to stick around because of the money. No, they're not. They're not. Lomachenko don't want to stick around because of the money. Uh, Anthony Joshua doesn't. Yeah, man, I could tell somebody who really loves boxing, bro. I can tell somebody who really loves boxing. Until I see these guys fighting on a small app or fighting on BLK Prime or something like Deontay Wilder, I don't think these guys love boxing like that. They trying to get paid and they trying to get up out of there. Which that's not a problem, but the narrative has been that these guys love boxing more than certain guys, or they're at a certain level. And to me, to be honest with you, it hasn't been enough uh, fighting going on amongst the best for guys to be, just sure of themselves. It's a lot of people sure of themselves right now. It's a lot of people sure of themselves. But I love the 147 division right now. That's why I'm glad Haney and Norman jumped in the ring together, because these are two guys who have been linked to a fight with Teofimo Lopez and Boots Ennis. Now, anybody can figure out who's ducking in that scenario and who's not. But all I know is Haney's about to fight and Norman is about to fight. That's it. That's what I've been saying the whole time on my channel. I don't know what's going on in boxing, but I know Haney's gonna fight when he's ready, and Norman's gonna fight. If Norman can't get a fight with somebody, trust me, he's definitely not the problem. Now, what I'm confused about is a lot of people said that Norman was a problem, but they see how easy the fight was made with Haney though. But last year they said Norman was a problem. You see how guys' reputations get ruined just like that? Trying to prove a point right now. Like Norman is building up his reputation, which is very good right now because he's coming off a stellar knockout. But he had a lot of negative things said about him ducking and asking for too much money, what he ain't worth. I ain't heard nobody say he ain't worth nothing since that knockout. And to be honest with you, you know what I don't like about that whole situation with Norman and the knockout? I'm hearing people talking about, oh, the Stanionis knockout was good. Bro, that was a year and a half ago. Y'all just now bringing that up? Why they ain't talking about the knockout after he knocked the old boy out? That's how you know dudes be secretly hating. So they ain't gonna say it after he get the knockout. They gonna wait three fights later and be like, yeah, that was a good knockout. Bro, that was 3 fights ago. That was 3 fights ago. Yeah, so he be getting doubted heavy. So when people be talking about, oh yeah, these guys hating, nah. Ain't no boxers out here knocking out nobody like Brian Norman and getting hated on right now. He probably the only one that would get backlash. Anybody else who get knocked out like that, well, Wilder is. But other than that, everybody else is getting praise to the highest. Then they were just saying last year he was ducking somebody. Dude just got a knockout of the year. Guaranteed knockout of the year. And that's the guy everybody talking about was ducking. That's the bad part right there. That's the part that's gonna make things a lot worse than what it already was. When you already playing with Terence Crawford name, which is dangerous. But then with the Brian Norman thing, people dragged that out way too long. I said, okay. Oh, he ain't that good, man. I don't really see nothing. After he knocked the Quavers dude out, which I thought was a very good knockout. I thought that knockout was more impressive, you know, than the Suzuki knockout. Suzuki knockout was crazy, but I'm talking about just how he set up the whole Quavers knockout. I thought was amazing. They still ain't seen nothing. Yeah, so he bet on himself. He bet on himself, and that was the best bet that he ever made in his life. That was an excellent bet. Yeah, he won that bet. He bet on himself and he won. So yeah, it's a lot of guys that I don't know. I don't want to be the person who has to have somebody else's name built off another person's name. Because a lot of people accuse Terence Crawford of doing that. Terence Crawford, like, yeah, I want to fight Earl Spence. And, oh, he's using his name. Just like Canelo said, oh, Benavidez is using my name. Man, Benavidez ain't got to use your name to do nothing. Benavidez was in the ring with Golovkin before Canelo was. It was sparring, but still, he was in the ring with him before you was. Yeah, so it's only a couple of people really using people's name to do certain things because Benavidez has already been a champion. Fought Caleb Plant, Andre, just moved up to 75. Fought Morrell already. So yeah, he's not somebody that's a clout chaser. Far from it. But yeah, it's starting to catch up to him. Definitely starting to catch up. Yeah, boxing in a good state right now though. We need some changes, man. We need to. These changes right here, they're gonna be everything that we need. We need something different, man. We've been already doing the same thing for so long. Uh, it's not gonna work. It can't work the same way it's been going. That's why they got rid of pay per view recently. I'm so glad Turkey Out of Sheep got rid of pay per view. Y'all know how much I've talked about that on this channel recently. But I'm glad he's been listening to somebody, anybody. But I've been talking about that a long time. I'm so glad he got rid of pay per view. Pay per view has ruined boxing because everything is not pay per view. You know, when something is free, anybody will watch anything that's free. Even if it's anything that's free, people are watching. That's why basketball and football is dominating because you can easily find it by mistake or whatever. It's always gonna have access to the fan base. But with boxing, it's so hard to find it. Look how much trouble you got to go through to find boxing these days. Even if you do love boxing, a lot of these people don't know what's going on. They don't know if this promotional team is with this app and that app on ESPN Plus and the Zone. And oh, now I'm on Amazon. I was on Showtime a couple of years ago. They don't keep up with a lot of that stuff. Not 24/7. So yeah, they make it hard to really find. It's hard to find access to boxing these days. That's why as soon as they get rid of this pay-per-view situation, it's going to have a huge effect on boxing. They're still going to have the app, where people got to have monthly fees or whatever, but because people still got to get paid some way. But yeah, it'll help boxing though. It should be no more complaints after this. That's why I'm not really tripping too much. What's going on with boxing? I really don't have a problem with anything really going on. It's all gonna figure. It'll figure itself out eventually. I've come to realize that in boxing, the narratives is cool, but eventually it'll figure itself out. It definitely will. It's been doing it so far. That's why I'm just now starting to lock in on that Crawford and Canelo fight because I haven't really thought about it that much. I knew it was gonna happen possibly, but I haven't really locked into it yet. But I'm starting to really get dialed in on it. I'm starting to really get excited about that Crawford and Canelo fight. I'm gonna start talking about that a lot more. Doing some different things around that fight. What's up, Flat Out? Oh, they got kind of shout out to Flat Out TV. They got Conor Benn and Mario Barrios. Eddie Hearn reached out to PBC to see if they wanted to make that fight at 47. So that's possibly a fight that can happen because it looks like the Eubanks and Conor Benn fight might not happen. The rematch. Eubanks kind of dragging his feet. I think Turkey wanted to do a date with September 20th or something like that. And Eubanks said he wasn't ready, so Turkey said I ain't doing the fight no more. And I think not Eubanks, but Conor Benn and Eddie Hearn ready to move on to probably a Barrios fight. Because the first idea Eddie Hearn had was to make Conor Benn and Jaron Ennis earlier this year. That was actually a fight he was looking at, but Jaron Ennis wanted to unify. And then Conor Benn wanted to fight Eubanks, so that fight never happened. It could happen. Eventually, it could happen one day. But the way things going, it seems like Eddie Hearn wants to get a belt at 47. And the best chance for Conor Benn to do it is through Barrios. That'd be the best fight right now for Conor Benn. I think everybody else at 47 be a little tougher. He already just fought a big guy, so yeah, Barrios would be a good fight for him. I would actually watch that fight. I don't know why, but I would. But that's not something I'm really checking for, though. We already know Barrios not gonna fight Norman or Haney anytime soon, so that's a fight they want to go with. That's a fight they going with. But yeah, I knew it was a chance that Conor Benn and Barrios will fight though, so I'm not surprised. It's not really a lot of options at 47. It's not a lot of options. I want to see somebody fight Sention, the guy who fought Brian Norman. They talking like he easy work, but I think that'll be the easiest way somebody can get a fight. If they can go out there and stop him. But yeah, to be honest with you, I don't think a lot of guys want to jump in the ring with the guy though. Yeah, against Conor Benn, I'm rolling with Conor Benn on that one, flat out. After that last fight, he definitely fooled. He definitely food. Shoot, Tony been out. How long Tony been out? What, 2 years? Barrios was out there looking more rusty than Tony did. And Barrios was rusty. And Gary Russell was sharper than he was. Yeah, 47. He definitely food. That's why Eddie Hearn want that belt. He's like, yeah, this the easiest belt I can get right now. And that is the easiest belt he can get right now. I don't know why Eddie Hearn want to make that move. Maybe he thinks he can possibly do a Pacquiao or Conor Benn. I don't know. Eddie Hearn be thinking different. He probably thinking about making a Conor Benn versus Pacquiao if he get the belt from Barrios. Yeah, a lot of people want to see Pacquiao in the ring again, and it'll have to be against somebody like Conor Benn or yeah, some of these younger guys who like smaller or Rolly. I know they're talking about Tank, but I don't know about that. But yeah, that's the fight they're talking about right now. I don't know what fight card they put that on, but it's a good fight. That's a very good fight. They already got FA Jogba and Frank Sanchez rematch being ordered. Then I'm hearing that the Andy Cruz. I haven't heard people talk about that, so I'll post that. It's kind of old news now, but well, actually, I already talked about it like a month ago. But Andy Cruz and Miritai, they ain't finna fight each other either. So the only fight that can be made right now on Eddie Hearn's side is like Barrios and Conor Benn. Conor Benn, he fight anybody else, he might lose. He struggled against that one dude. What's the one guy name? Pete Dobson. He struggled against him. Yeah, so he got to be careful. Depending on who he fights, man, he hasn't had a great performance yet. I don't think Conor Benn had a knockout in America yet. If he fights, it's most likely gonna be over there, but I don't know. If it's a big fight, it might be on Riyadh season card. But yeah, how many fights he got in America? He got two, and both of them went the distance. Oh, he was fighting at 54. Dang, bro, that big? He that big? Well, he fighting at 54? He ain't that tall though. He 5'8". I don't know, man. He ain't that big to be fighting at 54 like that. I would see if he was like a stocky dude like Canelo, but he ain't even stocky like that. Yeah, he ain't no guarantee at 47, but I give him a chance against Barrios though. Barrios almost lost that belt against. He said, "What is Adrian Broner and Blair Cobbs up to these days?" Blair Cobbs looking for a fight, flat out. He looking for a fight against anybody. He just got released by Dunn King. He was on Dunn King Promotions. He just got released out his contract because Dunn keep canceling fights because he's so sick. But Dunn just got one of his fighters over there with Turkey Al Sheik, I think. So Dunn ain't worried about these other fighters right now. He trying to get that turkey bag. Adrian Broner, I don't know what's going on with him. Last time I checked with Adrian Broner, he just be posting like Instagram posts and stuff, but He don't look like he in the sport of boxing like that, bro. He already lost one of his trainers. To be honest with you, it look like he still be grieving sometimes. So he ain't got the same team he had. You know, a lot of his teams passed away already. His original team that he trained with. So I don't know. He ain't really got the love for it no more. I think that McDonough fight really did him bad though. That really did him bad. I had did a video on that though. I'm gonna post that too again. I had broke that down where I was talking about why Adrian Broner ain't the same no more. I ain't no therapist. I was just talking about as far as in the fight game. I think I did it the day after he fought Blair Cobbs. But yeah, bro, he ain't the same for real. And I think it's more so behind the scenes because the more I be learning about stuff, man, Adrian Broner helped a lot of boxers, man. Like guys who fighting right now. I know a lot of people talking about Tank recently, but man, he helped a lot of guys, man. He be goofy online, but he helped a lot of guys though. I have noticed that. Yeah, but Adrian Broner, he can make 140, man. I ain't gonna lie, I be disappointed in him so much sometimes. Cause I'm like, bro, all you gotta do is make 140. All he gotta do is make 140 and just go in the ring. If he would have made 140, he would have had a chance against a pro grade, um, any of those guys. Matias, Paro, he could have fought any of those guys. Montana Love, I know they cool, but he could have fought any of those guys at 140. Adrian Broner really at 140. And if he was really, really serious, he could be 135. He never had to move up. I don't know what somebody told him back in the day. Cause he always said, I want to be 4 division. What he said, 4 division champ, something like that. I want to be 4 division champ. It's not that many in history. He kept saying it. I don't know who put that in his head. But after a while, that's like Loma right now. Well, not right now, but Loma saying during his career, I want to be a 4 division champion. But yeah, Loma fighting at 140 and 47, that ain't gonna work. And to most people, Adrian Broner isn't that small, or he's done well in fights at 40 and 47. So it looks like he's a natural 47. But over time, as I looked at things, man, that dude should have been at 135, man. I ain't think about it years ago because he used to be standing next to Tank, but he ain't that much bigger than Tank. He ain't really no big dude like that. Because Sean Porter, he's more like a stocky guy. But Adrian Broner just got fat. Because I remember when Tank Coach was saying he just got weight just coming off of him. He said, we ain't do no training for the Blair Cobbs fight. We just losing weight. Bro went out there and fought Blair Cobbs just off of the fact that he lost weight. Didn't even get in fighting shape. I'm like, man, even though he looked terrible that night, it was a bad performance. I was impressed because I'm like, this dude got off the couch and fought a guy who been training the whole time. And I don't usually be impressed by him like that, but I was like, even when looking like trash, you can show how great you is, though. But yeah, 47 got to get the jumping soon, man. Yeah, I want to see Black Cobbs in the ring. I want to see him fight Rocha again. I want to see him fight Rocha. I definitely want to see him fight Rocha. What they got him ranked there? They got Conor Benn ranked at 54. Now his next fight might be at 47. I still think he's 47 in my mind. So him fighting at 54 ain't easy. He ain't got the frame for it. That's why he ain't never fought a big name at 54. He'd have fought at 54, but not one of these big names. Yeah, I seen Polanco over the weekend. Polanco, he's good. He had a good performance against, but he definitely need to stay away from Brian Norman though. I think Brian Norman knocks him out, and I'm not saying that just because he Brian Norman just came off a big knockout. I'm saying that because of the way Polanco was fighting. Yeah, he's getting knocked out the way he fought, and I think he got good talent, but I don't know, man. Sometimes guys are so good that they really don't just improve. I don't know. It's hard to explain. I hope Polanco don't get in that situation where he's very talented, but he's just fighting off of talent instead of actually executing a game plan or something. Brother, like he was just fighting this weekend. For real. I'm like, that ain't gonna work. And was getting touched up too. But yeah, they said Stanley is coming back, I think in August. He had a fight set up probably 2 months ago at 47. Rocha at 47. I don't know what Alexis Rocha plans is. I'm gonna figure it out today though. Alexis Rocha, I'm gonna figure out what his plans are. Jose Ramirez, Brandon Lee. Brandon Lee, 26 years old, man. He got 30 fights. I know he's fighting with Frank Warren right now. He just fought recently. But he got 30 fights, man. He got to figure it out. He fought on the Simpson and Tucker card. But bro got 30 fights, man. He gotta figure it out. Yeah, they got Carell. Yeah, you got a guy from France, Suleiman. I don't know if you say Suleiman the same way. I know it's spelled that way. You know it's French though. I know the Karen guy gonna fight again. But the guy Giazov at 147, that'll be a good fight between him and really anybody at 47. But yeah, if I was somebody like Black Cars, I'd be trying to line myself up with a fight um, like Giazov, whatever sanctioning body he in. I think he in the IBF. Yeah, he need to line himself up for that belt. That'd be the perfect situation for him. But yeah, Rocha, I think he fought recently. He had a fight canceled or something. Yeah, I thought. But yeah, 147 kind of dead right. It's being revived, but I think Haney just took somebody's spot as far as at 47. So it's kind of like nobody at 47 really got any movement going on. They wouldn't fight nobody anyways. Yeah, Carell just fought recently with Rocha. Yeah, 47 ain't jumping like that. He said, "What do I think about Boots re-signing with Eddie?" Uh, I'm not surprised. He only been with Eddie what 12 months. John, so he ain't been with it that long. 12 months ain't a long time, and they only had what 3 fights together in 12 months. I think he had the same kind of deal that Shakur had. I think Shakur deal might have been shorter, might have been 2 fights. I know one of them fell through, so maybe that fight was counted as 1 fight. But yeah, they both signed short deals. Yeah, it's a lot of stuff going on right now. Promoters are doing their part as far as like with domestic fights. In a minute, a lot of these guys are gonna think about stepping away. Eddie don't know if he gonna stay around in boxing. Jaron Ennis is giving him a good reason to stick around. So with Jaron Ennis re-signing with Eddie Hearn, that just lets you know that Eddie Hearn gonna stick around in boxing. But man, if Jaron Ennis would have left Eddie Hearn probably be thinking about hanging up right now. To be honest with you, I think Jaron Ennis saved Eddie Hearn career. Because right now, outside of Jaron Ennis, Eddie Hearn don't got much going on. I know he's been dealing with Canelo, Joshua, Conor Benn, plenty of people. Dimitri Bivol. But yeah, if Jaron Ennis don't re-sign with him, he's done out here. Because Berlanga just left, even though Berlanga got knocked out by Shiraz, Berlanga still has influence to the point where people want to know why the relationship with him and Eddie Hearn ain't work out. So yeah, that's why a lot of people are kind of like hesitant on dealing with him. They want to know if he's a snake or not. So yeah, I'm not too surprised about it. It's not really too many directions to go. Moose Ennis made a lot of changes to sign with Eddie Hearn. He made a lot of changes to sign with Eddie Hearn. He left PBC. He possibly took himself out of a lot of fights that could have included Tim Tszyu. What I heard was before he left PBC, they was talking about Jaron Ennis fighting uh, Tim Tszyu and Barrios. Something crazy like that. It was like Tim Tszyu, Barrios, a lot of names, bro. There's a lot of names out there. So for him to re-sign with Eddie Hearn, he has to. He walked away from too much, and he wanted a better deal. He wanted to get paid right, be active. PBC just now starting to get active a little bit. So I think the situation worked out for Ennis the best. I think he did a smart thing. He put himself first. Because a lot of guys like Caleb Plant lost recently because they weren't active. So I think being active is the most important thing right now. You can even say Gary Antoine Russell possibly lost due to activity. Yeah, so it happens. But I think he made the right decision though, because he's already been dealing with Eddie, and Eddie's been already doing some good fights, back to back hometown fights, fighting at home over and over and over. Yeah, that's all you can really ask for. And to be honest with you, as if you're a fan of Jaron Ennis, that's what you want. You want him fighting multiple times at home, getting paid big bucks, still fighting rank names and stuff like that. So yeah, as far as on that, on that landscape, yeah, it's good. He said Berlanga got mad because of pay cut from Canelo. To him being on the undercard. Yeah, what happened was Berlanga was supposed to fight in Berlanga was supposed to fight in Puerto Rico earlier this year. And I think Matias was gonna be on the co-main event or something. But they had changed the plans though because Edgar Berlanga didn't want to re-sign with Matchroom. That's when they put him on the undercard and everything else. They didn't want to rematch. Well, he didn't want to re-sign. And Eddie Hearn's like, since he's not my fighter, I'm not gonna go all out for him if he's not my fighter. Yeah, that's what it really was. I mean, Berlanga didn't trust him, so I mean, he probably just don't trust him. It's probably something he's seen that I can't really talk about. I don't know what happened, but yeah, you're right about what you said though. The pay cut. I don't. As far as the pay cut situation, I don't know about that. As far as the pay cut, I didn't know he had a major pay cut. Yeah, I didn't know he had a major pay cut. I thought he got paid well. Berlanga got man, he got paid well for that fight, bro. I don't know what the percentage was or what he had taken out. Berlanga got paid like man. He probably got one of the biggest Canelo paydays ever. To be honest with you, let me see what Golovkin made versus Canelo. Uh, in the third fight, Golovkin got 20 million. That was the guarantee. Okay, possibly around 45. What about Murata though? Let me see what he made versus Murata real quick. See, yeah. He only made like 12 to 15 million fighting Murata. And I'm hearing it's rumored that Berlanga was around that close to that. And Munguia as well. It's a lot of money, man. So yeah, you gotta resign you fight somebody like that. For that for that amount of money. And Berlanga ain't really been in a big fight like that. It was his first pay-per-view. I would have resigned. Yeah, I definitely would have resigned. And now with him getting stopped the way he did, Eddie Hearn kind of like, man, I ain't have to waste my money now. Kind of dodged the bullet. Shout out to Pooh Dangles though. Canelo do not gotta waste. I mean, not Canelo, but Eddie Hearn. He don't gotta waste that money. Ever since that Mikey Garcia fight, he said he don't like wasting money. Mikey Garcia versus Vargas, paying Mikey Garcia $7 million. I think that was after Mikey Garcia fought Earl Spence, and then he ended up paying the $7 million. Yeah, Mikey Garcia ain't worth $7 million. You gotta have a name in a fight with him. Like him alone as a headliner, 7 million. And we talking about what, 10 years ago, probably. Yeah, that's a lot of bread. Yeah, I like the fights they're coming out with right now though. Everything they talking about right now is real. Trying to see if I'm here seeing anything new. I don't see nothing. But yeah, man, I would definitely like to see Bronner back in the ring again. People can say what they want. When he fought Blair Cobbs, man, everybody was watching that fight. I forgot what day it was. I think it was a Sunday. If it wasn't a Sunday, it might have been Friday. I think I'm tripping. I think it was Friday. When did Bronner fight Blair Cobbs? But yeah, people like to watch Adrian Bronner in the ring, man. They can say what they want, but yeah, that was on a Friday. Yeah, he fought a year ago, last June 2024. Yeah, bro, just should have stayed. He should just stayed with PBC, man. Just wait it out. Ain't nobody fighting right now. Well, they starting to fight again, but at the time he was trying to be active, I don't think he realized nobody's really fighting. And over the years, Adrian Runner has been one of the most active guys. That's probably why he wasn't used to sitting like that. But I'm pretty sure he realized now everybody's sitting. You gotta wait till that phone call get made. Yeah, I'm trying to see any news popping up real quick. Yeah, I want to see what 140 gonna do. They got a lot of guys calling each other out, but I want to see what 140 gonna do. We got Hitchens out there. Gary Russell. Got a lot of guys at 140 talking smack. I noticed they don't do that a lot at 147. You got Blair Cobbs, of course he gonna do what he do, but I noticed they don't do that a lot at 147. Yeah, 47 starting to be a real serious weight class, man. It might not seem like it now, but from what I'm seeing, they making the fights happen. I think that's a smart thing to do. And you still got the guy Giazov. I don't know what they're gonna do with his fight at 47, but yeah, man, if Eddie Hearn can make this Barrios fight happen with Conor Benn and Conor Benn can get that belt, it's gonna be all over. Yeah, I didn't even think about this other guy with the belt. Or fight for a belt soon. Let me see, where is it at? Go to these rankings real quick. 47. Yeah, they got oh yeah, they got Crawford and Donovan fighting too. I forgot about that. I don't know why I forgot about that fight. Yeah, they got Crawford and Donovan fighting. Okay. I don't know why I'm trying to figure out what the rankings was for. I forgot what ranking system old boy was number one in. I might not be able to find it right now. Giazal, he's number one in the WBA. What that OC called? Official challenger. Oh yeah, Rolly finna be in trouble. Yeah, Rolly about to be in trouble. If Ryan get that belt, we'll see with him. But oh yeah, I see what's going on now. Yeah, they got Giazal. He gonna start causing some problems in a minute. I already see what's going on. Oh, shout out! Wow, man, what's going on, man? I already see what's going on. Yeah, 47. They better start making some moves soon. Yeah, if they run this rematch back with Ryan Garcia, they might want to hurry up. If they run that rematch back with Ryan Garcia, because 47 is a very crowded weight class right now. Very crowded weight class. Oh yeah, they got some very good posters from this Crawford and Canelo fight. Yeah, I think after that Norman and Haney fight, there's gonna be a lot of pressure put on the rest of the division. They should have undisputed in that weight class within the next 18 months. Yeah, they should put that fight gonna put a lot of pressure on 147. Yeah, they don't even have black cards ranked no more. Really? On some of these things. Yeah, that Patty Donovan fight. I don't know why. It seemed like it's this weekend. Yeah, we're gonna see what's gonna happen with that. Yeah, it's not too many things being made, but if they let Colonel Ben get that belt, man, Eddie Hearn gonna have all the pieces he need. That's why Jaron Ennis just gonna be. He was a little too fast as far as moving up, but he didn't have too much time to wait. So it is what it is. But he was a little bit too fast as far as moving up, just a little bit. Because now Eddie Hearn finna have all the 47 belts on his side. If Haney is able to get the belt from Brian Norman, you're gonna have all the belts. I know Rowley has a belt at 47, but you still have the guys who's the challengers on Matchroom side. So you still gotta fight a guy through Matchroom to defend the belt. So yeah, he gonna put a lot of pressure on these people. I see it now. I had to think about it. I'm like, who does he have at 47? Yeah, he got a guy Jizzov at 47. And Connor Ben. Yeah, we know that Jaron Ennis is not at 47 no more. And really and Norman is a person they can get past. That's why a lot of people are putting a lot of attention on this Norman and Haney fight because if Haney can get past Norman, everybody else is gonna have an easy pass at 47. And I mean everyone. Yeah, because a lot of people don't look at Barrios as a serious threat to some of these new guys at 47, even though they haven't done much. It's not like an impossible win. So a lot of these guys ain't really being looked at like that, but it's a tough fight compared to what they usually been fighting. But Polanco, I don't know, man. I think Polanco better than Barrios, but I think he'll go in there and lose right now. The way he was fighting this weekend, I wasn't too impressed. It's still early though. The fights he's been in, they've been cool. Like he almost stopped Maidana recently. But shoot, Barrios dropped him in the third round. But yeah, Maidana's still a beast though. Never been stopped, so yeah, he ain't never been stopped before. So I don't know, man. It's gonna be a lot of looking in the mirror over the next couple of weeks because you do know this. I'm gonna tell y'all why it's a lot of pressure going on right now amongst the boxers. We just had a lot of guys who having a good year right now. We have a lot of guys who are bouncing back. They feel good about themselves, had a nice rest. I know Hergovic, I think he hasn't fought in a while. So you got a lot of guys bouncing back. But these next couple of weeks, you got a lot of fighters who's trying to get on fight cards with Terence Crawford, Canelo, Haney, any big names right now that's putting fight cards together. So yeah, it's a lot of. We're at that period right now in boxing where you got to show up because it's a lot of people. They're letting Abdullah Mason take their shine right now. Because really, Abdullah Mason is technically supposed to be a prospect still, and he already passed the need to do something. He's already fighting for a spot of having a championship belt. Yeah, it's a new generation now, man. This was like 5 years ago. He probably be still waiting on a belt or opportunity to get a belt. They would have had Loma still hanging around, different stuff like that. But in this situation, if you're a prospect or a young person, you are going to have the chance to take over. I think that's the part in boxing where Turkey is changing. He's not letting these guys build up or earn the opportunity. Like, hey, if you feel like you can win, go ahead. If you're ranked high, we'll put you in the ring with them. They being forced to put up or shut up, man. Oh yeah, that bowl is that bowl fire. You say you 40. Pro, he said pro boxer. You gonna try for pro boxer? You probably can make it work, man. He said I go pro boxer at 45. You probably can make it work. Stuff they be taking these days, I'm pretty sure you'll be able to hang. And make sure y'all hydrate and drink some water out there, man. It's super hot. This got to be one of the hottest days in history. So if y'all hot out there, make sure y'all drink some water and hydrate out there. It's serious right now. But yeah, the funny part is I like about you know what I like about what happened earlier this year in boxing? I like the fact that Canelo hurried up and made that Crawford fight because when he did that, it took a lot of attention away from the fact that Crawford was too small and everything else. And now it's putting all the pressure on these other fighters to stand up and you know, try to be the next big thing. But yeah, you gotta say Turkey is exposing people though. I wouldn't say that Turkey is just exposing any boxer because guys is doing business with other managers and promoters. But they still said we had the Ali Act, right? So guys ain't being forced to do nothing. Last time I checked, they still got the Ali Act and everything else. So if you ain't trying to make the fight happen, man, it's on you. There's nobody else's responsibility. I can't believe you got Turkey out of Sheik, who's a walking bank right now. And people hesitant. They're like, I don't know. Then you got other guys trying to get overpaid for doing nothing. Yeah, getting overpaid for doing nothing is the worst part. And my thing is this right here. I gotta ask this question too. I'm gonna be real. I gotta ask this question. So if Rolly fight Ryan again, is Turkey gonna put that fight on? So who's gonna put? I wonder if he's gonna waste his time putting that fight on again. If that happens, that's gonna speak volumes. I'm gonna be real with you. If he puts that fight on again, that's gonna speak volumes. Tell you that right now. That's not a fight that should be put on by him. But if it is, if that ever happens, that's gonna be a problem. You say you never boxed in your life. That's what Jake Paul said a few years ago. Look at Jake Paul now. He said I never boxed in my life. That's what Jake Paul said, man. I ain't never boxed in my life. That boy Turkey got the streets quiet right now. I'm just chilling right now. They talking about PEDs. Yeah, man. These fights at 47 is gonna be. I think that's what's really controlling everything right now. I don't know why that has the most attention to me. I think Ennis has a lot to do with it because he was at that weight class, brought a lot of attention to it. But yeah, 47 is they gotta make some moves soon. Cause from what I see, let me see. See 30. Got a lot of guys around their prime age at 47. Ennis 26, Norman 24, Polanco 26. Yeah, most of these guys outside of them are between 28 and 35. So yeah, most of the guys we've been seeing fighting at 47 recently actually been the younger guys. Suzaki. I know Karen look like an old man, but he's 29. Yeah, Roach only 28. So yeah, a lot of these guys we've been watching been the younger guys. So yeah, it's time for them to step up at 47, man. I just want to see what the results of Norman and Haney are going to be. Until that fight actually over with, I don't think I'm gonna pay too much attention to 47 unless something drastic happen outside of this Barrios and Benn situation. Because I think that even if depending on how the fight goes, to be honest with you, I don't even think it depends on how the fight goes. If I think that Norman and Haney will still be able to give guys a hard time after they fight. So 47 is not really locked up. Even when one of those guys lose, 'Cause when they fight, somebody has to lose. Yeah, I don't. I think it's just gonna bring more attention to both of those guys. It'll make Haney and Norman's name bigger. It might lead to something else down the line. Who knows? I think they have a rematch clause in there. Yeah, so anything can happen. But the way I look at it, I'm not really looking down the line. I used to do that where I look down the line at like fights. Like, oh man, I want to see Ennis versus Crawford. I stopped doing that like probably a year ago because just don't want to do it no more, man. I miss out on a lot of the big fights looking down the line. Sometimes I gotta appreciate a regional program fighting a Catterall or something. Like, there you lost your bag at the restaurant. Dang, you might have to go back and get it. It's 6:30 now. You might have to call up there. But yeah, I do a better job now. I'm not looking past big fights, appreciating them while they around. Because a lot of these fighters aren't young anymore. We seen what happened in Loma just recently. You never know when these guys are hanging up. Yeah, you gotta appreciate them while they're around. Yeah, that's a lot of guys hanging it up. Trying to figure out what weight class has the older fighters, the oldest fighters. You can say heavyweight. That's always the situation. Heavyweight having the oldest fighters. That's without a question. Um, yeah, cruiserweight guys. A cruiserweight pretty old. Yeah, I have to probably go cruiserweight. Probably got the oldest fighters. Cruiserweight, heavyweight, then probably lightweight, light heavyweight. Yeah, I guess the older the guys are, most of them. Yeah, the bigger guys can go at an older age. Those smaller guys, when they get to 40 years old, they start to hang it up. Can't take the punches like they used to. Yeah, that's not something that people talk about a lot, but a lot of those smaller weight class fighters, because people say they need to be on pound for pound. Yeah, but those guys' careers don't really hang around long. They're real fragile. Even when they fighting guys the same size as them. Those heavyweights, they getting punched by guys who can knock the average man out. And they fight all the way until they're age 50. Yeah, you got Pulev right now. He's 44. Zane 42. Yeah, a lot of these guys fight at old age. When you get to those smaller weight class, man, those guys be hanging it up. And I just look at that as it's an odd thing to me because a lot of these women fighters, like somebody was saying recently, Muhammad Layla Ali is too old. Man, they got female fighters just like 43, 44. I think the girl that Carissa Shields fought that's like 43. 42 or something like that. She's better than the girl who she fought this weekend. Yeah, those smaller weight classes, they don't have any older guys in their weight class. It's only one guy I've seen out of the first three or four weight classes that's 40 years old, and that's a South African fighter. That guy Jackson from South Africa. Yeah, I think a lot of times that's why those guys don't get paid the big bucks, man. If you really think about it, they're not taking the same kind of punishment over time. Like Donaire, like Nonito Donaire. That's why he's who he is. Nonito is one of the only ones, and they be wanting him to retire early. Dude taking the toughest fights, they telling him to retire early. Doesn't make sense. But yeah, Nonito is the only one. He's doing stuff that a guy like Inoue would never do. And Wingate too, out of I forgot what country he out of, but they got Wingate too. But yeah, they don't got that many older guys up in those small weight classes. They'll get punished down there. Yeah, I see a lot of people adding more smaller weight fighters to the pound for pound list. Man, they might have to slow down on that. They might have to pump the brakes on that a little bit. Yeah, they might have to do that. Cause yeah, they don't have a lot of man, they don't have a lot of guys like Casemiro. So they don't have a lot of guys with their age, man, for real. They got Rigondeaux, they got Casemiro. They don't got too many older fighters, man. I think a lot of the guys who did retire, if they would have known boxing was going to start rejuvenate a little bit, they probably would have stayed a little longer. uh, let me see this. Yeah, I love Twitter sometimes. You know the good thing about Twitter sometimes, guys don't really. You might catch a guy who's going back and forth with somebody, but they don't talk a lot. They be catching a lot of guys off guard. Oh, Larry Holmes with 52? Yeah, they ain't doing that no more. Yeah, the only version of Larry I do know is the old Larry because that's the Larry I seen by then. Yeah, the heavyweights was so old when I was watching boxing. I thought you had to be an old heavyweight to be good and out of shape, like Larry and George Foreman. Yeah, I thought you had to be out of shape like Larry and George Foreman to be a good heavyweight. But yeah, I'm gonna be back on here later on, man. I wanted to talk about this topic real quick. I appreciate everybody for coming through. Appreciate Wild Man for coming through, man. Talk to you later on, man.